Thanks for staying with us. All right, so as I said, some of the excuses our mothers give us or our aunties give us to stay in this kind of relationship is what I said before the break, saying that the fact that a man keeps something away from you is because he respects you and he loves you. So don't make it look like he's forcing the child up, because back in the day, centuries, they will bring them in the house and you have to accept them. But now they're saying because they're away, respect that, but obviously that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But let me take this call, hold, and I'll come to you, BC. Thanks for calling, you're live. Hello, listen to me, not the TV, please. Thanks for calling.
All right. I think the issue is that real men are bold enough to tell their wives the truth.
They are bold enough to do what?
They are bold enough to tell their wives the truth. Because
they're bold
in a relationship like that, whether you like it or not, there is no way you will hide it for a very long time.
Okay.
So men who are bold, men who are of integrity, will be bold enough to tell their wives the truth. And I want you to know that real men don't treat their wives this way. Real men love their wives with the whole of their being. Real men will insist in taking care of their wives. The issue that the man is keeping it so because he respects her, to me, keeping it is an act of disrespect for the woman. Because there is no way that she will not get to know, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
But
right.
However...
Oh, Solomon, I really wanted to...
Okay. He's there.
I will encourage such women to stay in that relationship as long as the man is not threatening their life. Because going out of such marriage, the disadvantage is much. How do you intend to go about your life? Do you intend to marry another person? Do you intend to stay alone? So many issues are, but to me, the lesser evil is to continue in that relationship.
Solomon, Solomon, let me engage you for a moment. I know this is like when we have a man on set, it's always good to have this kind of conversations. When a woman who is sad, as you said, traumatized, obviously she's probably going to be bitter because of she feels betrayed, and we encourage her to stay in that marriage. Do you think it's healthy for her to stay when she has to raise children, have to deal with a husband who has betrayed her, who has broken the trust? How will she stay in that marriage? She's probably not living anymore, don't you think?
Yes. My thought on this is that, one, she should get somebody that she trusted and let the person encourage her. Let somebody who is experienced in counseling talk to her. Yes, that's why I said earlier, if her life is not under threat in that kind of relationship, for me, it's better for her to stay.
All right, thank you, Solomon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, people will see things from different angles, right? Sometimes we see that when the person finally leaves, and some people will leave and say, I'm going to just focus on my children. I'm not getting involved in any romantic relationship, no more marriage and all of that. And some women are able to do that. Others will leave and say, okay, I want to fall in love someday, get another person someday and all of that. And we find that sometimes you may not get the ideal single man who doesn't have a wife. You may end up going to a man who is married. You may end up being the other woman for that man. You may end up meeting a divorcee who, the options are just so many. So sometimes it's not because the women don't want to leave. They just look at it like, where will I go to? How will I start? I don't know. The fear of the unknown usually creeps in. I don't know what is going to, I don't know the future. I can't predict what would happen. Other women will say, now I'm independent, I have my own money, I have my own businesses, let me just go and take care of my kids, then I can have the boyfriends. And, the religious aspect is also one of them. People are looking at what would my pastor say, what would my imam say. Okay, imams, okay, you're allowed to marry. So what would my, pastor say? Yes, what would my church members say? What does the Bible say about this? If I go and I'm having romantic relations with other people, that means I am committing fornication at the same time. So the options are so many. And, it depends on how you are able to put yourself back together. But now that we are focusing on the woman, there are options that you could have. Some people would say, why don't I stay? But I know that I'm not going to have anything to do with this man again. They find a way to divorce themselves emotionally. And it takes a long time to get there because you are feeling so betrayed by everybody. And I would advise the men, if you have made that mistake, that's number one, betrayal, instead of continuing on the deception, you can just come out clean and say, I have made this mistake. I may be in love with this person, or I love this person, and I would like to have this person. The conversation is, as far as I'm concerned, I've never experienced it. This is just my own opinion. As far as I'm concerned, the conversation is a bit neater than it degenerates into how many years of having one child, second child, third child with somebody, a full family with another person without the partner knowing. So if it happens that it has happened, you can present it to the wife and say, I have made this mistake. How do we proceed from here? I think it's
all right, let me take this call, then I'll come to you, Sokwe. Good morning, okay? Thanks for calling. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Call. Now, there's a part of going back to this woman, her emotional state. So I can hear her mom or somebody saying, for your peace of mind, stay. You already have two children or three children. Yes, he has betrayed you, he has hurt you, but think about your children. Let them have a home. Let them have the father, mother figure, because I'm sure he's probably a great father. And that's the regular advice we hear.
Another one you should add is maybe if he's a well-to-do person.
Yes.
It's after all you have suffered.
So
you want to go out so that...
Yes, and God bless you. After all you've been through with this person, you have this lovely house, you have a good job, you want to throw it all away for one woman to want to take it. That is the usual advice. Yeah. Now my question is, should that advice hold water today in view of the various factors of the modern Nigerian woman?
There are two ways I see it. Yes, in the Nigerian context, the advice would be...
That's why I qualified
look at all that you have invested, look at the family for your peace of mind. Because what we see as peace of mind in Nigerian context is monetary and...
financial security.
Financial security and stability. That's what we see as peace of mind, not what peace of mind truly is. Because if we are truly evaluating peace of mind in terms of our sanity, the best advice would be step out for your peace of mind, because you're getting a constant reminder of your betrayal. So, but in that setting of what is you've invested so many years, the time that you have put into the relationship, a few things will make the decision, influence our decision. If the woman is financially empowered as an individual, her decision-making will be totally different from if she wasn't financially empowered. Yes. A dependent woman will be thinking of how would I sustain my lifestyle or how would I start again. But a financially independent person would step out and be able to rationalize. I'm going to talk somewhere about women in real estate. And one of the things I'm saying is many women stay in relationships that traumatize them. Many women stay in relationships that are abusive. Many women lose their lives because if they had the financial well-being to step out, they would survive. So I'm of the opinion that the decision this one will make will likely be based on whether she is financially stable or not. If she is, she would move. If she is not...
She may still not move.
Let me take this call from Akinwumi calling from Ibadan. Thanks for calling. Comments on social media. Hello, Akinwumi, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Go ahead. Yes.
How are you, man?
Very well.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for this noble topic that you guys brought up this morning. But the angle at which you, Morayo, you brought it up, I think that is what I wanted to uphold. That what should the woman do and the consequence of the action that the man has done. I'm not in support of what the man did at all. There is a bottom line you people said there, the deceptive that was there.
Mr. Akinwumi. Oh, I think we lost it. Was really... Let me take this comment from, let me not mention the person's name, just in case. It says, hi, Morayo, the topic you're discussing on your view right now, the story actually happened to a very close person to me. I know both husband and wife. They both live here in the UK, but uncle is always traveling to Nigeria. She only just found out about the two boys last month when uncle introduced them at his 55th birthday party. although their marriage has been rocky for some years now, she's a very devoted woman and very trusting. She knew he had someone, but thought the children were fathered by someone else. He actually brought them from Nigeria and brought them to the UK. And one of the boys is the same age as her twins.
Hey!
Look at this woman.
Morayo, this is trauma. Honestly, because you're not Morayo is not seeing it.
I'm seeing it now because the fact that somebody...
It's not as shocking.
I'm from a polygamous family. It's not shocking to me now today.
But for us, for me, it's like a big deal. Like my heart started beating as Dolakmo, our producer, was reading the story. Like, how would a woman go through this, especially if she was innocent? We're talking about how she would deal with it. And, the Nigerian context is forgive and move on. When we even discuss it with Nigerians, we don't think about her state of mind. We don't offer counseling. We just expect that she should pray and forgive.
Accept
forgive
it.
is yes. Forgiveness is of the Lord, and you pray, you forgive, you continue living with that person. The audacity of the man to think that I will continue to live in the house with the same woman and be eating her food and think I will survive with peace. But there's a part of age. If the woman is already in later years, maybe you're already in your 50s or 60s, you might be thinking, I don't want to separate and be living a lonely life, or I don't want to be... No, sometimes it's just that there are many factors.
Okay, so let me throw this angle, because I've heard stories of those two women in this situation. One decided to stay, the other left. So we'll tell you that the one who left had to struggle through life. Maybe something happened, she raised her kids by herself, and this happened, and that happened, and we see how the children are. And the one that decided to stay, even though she wasn't happy, but her children had a more stable home, and see, those are the kind of stories, I'm not saying I know somebody, I'm just saying that this is the kind of stories our mothers will tell you, and even movies will tell you that you that stay, you had want to, at the end of the day, to win, because at the end of the
When we started the conversation, you said the modern Nigerian woman.
Yes.
The woman who's empowered.
Yes.
That scenario that you painted was very true for a lot of Nigerian men a long time ago, where it wasn't just because he didn't even want to work. It was just the way our society was. The man was the breadwinner. He would bring food home.
Yeah.
And even being single was seen as a bad thing, or being divorced was seen as a bad thing, that you'll be so tainted that another man would not want to marry a divorcee. Even to, in fact, even like a widow, people would not want to marry someone who's been married before and now widowed, But things are different now. As you said, people are more empowered. There's this story my late mother-in-law told me. She used to talk about this, her friend that she admires so much. She said many years into their marriage, after 4 beautiful adult children, the man opens up to her, he sends her a letter, opening up to her that he has a whole other family somewhere. Full. She was like, how many children? Over how many years? I was like, okay. Fantastic. I've heard you. She said that the woman, being a judge, was able to drop divorce papers and everything, signed it on his behalf. One day he came out and realized he has been divorced, and she moved on with her life. She did not. They had taken care of their children. Their children were adults. She was happy, and anytime she never even refers to him anymore. Since she moved on. So there are people, and I feel a lot of, as you said earlier, if women are empowered, there's so many things that they will not take, and there's so many things men will not give. Because they know that they'll be...
They know consequences. God bless you.
When you know that your life, this person's life is almost dependent on yours, you will mistreat the person.
I have to go on a break.
Okay.
Let me just, I have a call, I think. Okpayemi, thanks for calling. I'll come to you.
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I listened to the program on the issue you are discussing. I think what the man is not good enough, because that's the beauty of trust in a relationship. She get me, but notwithstanding, I would just urge the woman in question to forgive. Because what I can see now is that in Africa.
Yes.
I find it difficult to hear Okpayemi. Maybe our volume needs to be increased.
So I like...
bring in our guest.
All right.
Can you hold it for a second?
Okay.
Let me bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.